Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon again, kids. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do the usual disclaimers, and if at a random moment I start cheering, it's because I am watching the deliberation in regards to Trump. And I am like hoping against all hope because my faith in the justice system because of the JRC is non-existent, that this will finally be held guilty for something once in his freaking life. But anyways, to the disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shock campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused. You know the drill. Please read the article. Share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. All right, folks, where we left off. But first, the trigger warnings before I forget. Trigger warning one, when we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones. Trigger warning two, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and do speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they're watching this, very obviously parental supervision is very much advised. All right, folks, where we left off. With regard to peer review, the commenter simply asserts without explanation that the papers were peer reviewed. Thank you. You can't just sit there and say, of course they were peer reviewed, and have nothing behind that. If it were peer reviewed, where are your receipts? You can't just say it and be all like, well, obviously it's true. I am so tired of this world. I am so tired of people just being able to say shit and we're just supposed to take it as absolute truth. People lie. For the love of God, watch house. People lie all the time. We lie to ourselves. We lie to each other. We lie if you believe in God. We lie. People lie. All right? Which is why when something like this is going on, the FDA is going to say, okay, these papers were peer reviewed. Okay. Where are the receipts? For every other peer reviewed study out there, there is receipts. They can point to the panel. They can point the head person of that panel. They can produce the paperwork that says, yes, this paper can go forward. Where is that for the JRC? It doesn't exist because it was not actually peer reviewed. You can't assemble your own panel whose paychecks that you pay and say, see, it's peer reviewed. These are all doctors and they agree with me. You also pay their paychecks, dude. Which means none of those people up there are objective. That's what a peer panel has to be. They cannot have a dog in the fight. All right? Thank you, FDA. Receipts, JRC. Receipts. Where are yours? Because we're not going to go with this distrust me, brah defense anymore. For the love of God, we're tired. However, as we explained it in the proposed rule, we determined that the publications both from 2008 and 2010 were not peer reviewed because the articles were only reviewed by the journal's editorial board rather than the independent expert whose sole role was to verify accuracy and validity. Thank you. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. He was the head of the board that did the review. Which is why the concept that it's supposedly peer reviewed, those two studies were thrown out the window. Justifiably so. You can't just say they're peer reviewed when the guy whose ass is being held to the fire is the head of the board. Of course he's going to side in his own favor. Any of us in trouble would do the same whether we're lying or not. Problem is, it's not objective. That's what a peer review board is supposed to be. Therefore, the papers were not peer reviewed by anyone. They were not held to the same scrutiny as all the other papers coming out today are. You can't just assemble your own board and decreed see peer reviewed. Okay? That'd be like me assembling a board right now of all my family and friends and say, I decree that I am a millionaire and I will be treated as such. And every single one of them can agree. And I say, see, it's peer reviewed. Doesn't make me a millionaire. Okay? It also means there might be a few cracked heads in the bunch. All right? An editorial board that is worth its salt has no dog in the fight. They are in no way directly involved with the individuals who made said device. Okay? They don't work there. They don't live in the state. They don't have family or friends or even Facebook friends that live in the area. They do this so that they can truly actually be objective, so that there won't be bias towards one side or the other, right? And if you are reviewing your own fucking study, that is not objective. That's what the FDA is saying here, rightfully so. We're going to go ahead and close out on that, folks. It's very clear. This was not put up to an actual objective peer review panel like every single other paper is. Any more than the GED device was put up to the same scrutiny of all other medical devices, medications, and what have you. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and close out, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time, so you know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to hit those comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.